Indonesian government has confirmed that it will continue the 6 priority agendas in the 2022 G20 presidency. The Minister of Finance said that various priority agendas will be discussed next year with various needs in facing challenges in the current pandemic era. Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani ensured that the 6 priorities are expected to be able to provide solutions to today's crucial global problems. The first priority is the discussion of the exit strategy to support economic recovery, while the second is efforts to overcome the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic to secure future growth. The third priority is the payment system in the digital age. The fourth priority is sustainable finance or sustainable financing. The fifth is financial inclusion. Meanwhile, the sixth priority agenda is issues related to international taxation. In addition to the 6 priority agendas, the Indonesian government will also focus on several issues that are inherited from the Italian G20 presidency, such as integrating pandemic risk and climate risk into global risk, to strengthening the global financial safety net and increasing capital flows between countries.
Ada 6 agenda prioritas dari G20 di bawah finance dan central bank track. Yaitu pertama, pembahasan mengenai exit strategi, yaitu bagaimana pemulihan ekonomi kemudian akan mendrive bagaimana negara-negara yang melakukan kebijakan extraordinary baik di fiskal dan moneternya secara bertahap mulai melakukan exit strategi tanpa membuat pemulihan ekonominya terganggu. Kedua, penanganan pandemi.
Minister of State-Owned Enterprises reshuffled the Board of Directors of Mining Industry Indonesia or MIND. In the reshuffle, Oryas Petruk-Mudak no longer served as President Director of MIND. His position was replaced by Henry Priyosantoso, who previously served as President Director of Semen Indonesia. Minister of State-Owned Enterprises Erick Thohir reshuffled the Board of Directors of Mining Industry Indonesia or MIND. In the reshuffle, Oryas Petruk-Mudak no longer serves as the President Director of MIND. His position was replaced by Henry Priyosantoso, who previously served as the President Director of Semen Indonesia. The MIND management reshuffle was approved at the General Meeting of Shareholders on Friday last week. Special staff to the Minister of SOEs, Arya Sinulinga, explained that the reason for the reshuffle was to refresh the MIND management team and to achieve a number of targeted goals. One of them is to accelerate the transformation of the mining industry. In addition, the acceleration of transformation is carried out for the development of downstream mining industry towards integrated metal and mineral comprehensive upstream-downstream processing. He said this is to maximize the value that can be obtained in the country so that a strong industry is built. Lastly, so that MIND can become the leading driving force in the National Electric Vehicle Industry Development Initiative. The goal is to reduce the country's foreign exchange deficit due to net energy imports, as well as reducing carbon emissions in the land transportation sector. IDX Channel reports. And moving on to global update, French President Macron has accused Australian Prime Minister of lying to him while negotiating a submarine deal with Washington and London. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of travelers are expected to arrive in Thailand as the country reopens to tourists. And more stories on today's International Minute.
OPEC Plus headed for a clash with the U.S. as more members rejected President Joe Biden's call for the group to raise oil production faster and help reduce gasoline prices. On Monday, Kuwait said the cartel should stick with its plan to increase output gradually because oil markets were well balanced. That follows similar statements from other key members in recent days, including Iraq, Algeria, Angola, and Nigeria. French President Emmanuel Macron has accused Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison of lying to him while negotiating a submarine deal with Washington and London that sidelined Paris. Macron's allegations on Sunday came as the two leaders attend the G20 summit in Rome, their first meeting since Australia scrapped a multi-billion-dollar deal with France for conventional submarines in September. World leaders have begun arriving at the United Nations conference critical to averting the most disastrous effects of the climate crisis, their challenge made even more daunting by the failure of major industrial nations to agree to ambitious new commitments. The COP26 conference in the Scottish city of Glasgow on Monday comes a day after G20 big economies failed to commit to a 2050 deadline for halting net carbon emissions, a mark widely cited as a condition for preventing the most extreme global warming. Tens of thousands of travelers are expected to arrive in Thailand as the country reopens to tourists after 18 months of COVID restrictions. Vaccinated tourists from more than 60 low-risk nations are allowed to enter the country and avoid hotel quarantine. Tourist numbers are forecast to jump to as much as 15 million next year, bringing in more than $30 billion. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned on us.
Awalnya nggak langsung yakin, tapi setelah ikut 2 kali acara edukasi Bursa Efek, akhirnya tertarik juga.
Karena mudah, saya ajarkan ibu-ibu lain, sampai anak saya juga ikutan.
Selesai dagang, saya bawa 100.000 untuk nabung saham. Hasilnya jelas sekali.
Yuk kita nabung saham sekarang.
Seiring meluasnya cakrawala investasi di tengah pasar saham yang dinamis. Analisa mendalam diperlukan untuk menemukan saham berorientasi value yang menghasilkan kinerja yang tinggi. IDX Channel akan mengulas isu pasar dan pergerakan saham terkini. Saksikan ulasannya bersama analis terpercaya hanya di IDX Channel.
Dilihat dari sektor UMKM nampaknya sudah mulai terasa itu, Mas.
Ya, kalau kita lihat dari indikator kredit ya untuk UMKM, ini memang sudah menunjukkan bahwa ekonomi UMKM mulai bergeliat.
Satgas COVID-19 tetap mengingatkan agar masyarakat tetap disiplin dalam menegakkan protokol kesehatan.
Pemerintah akan melakukan upaya terbaik untuk memvaksinasi sebanyak mungkin orang dan secepat mungkin.
Kementerian Perdagangan optimistis target pemerintah untuk membuat 30 juta UMKM go digital bisa tercapai di akhir tahun 2023. Wisata Bali dan Labuan Bajo hingga saat ini masih menjadi favorit.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. West Java Governor Ridwan Kamil offered an investment opportunity in West Java's Rebana agglomeration of Cirebon, Subang and Majalengka districts for 13 new industry centers to Dutch investors to boost the regional economy. West Java Governor Ridwan Kamil offered an investment opportunity in West Java's Rebana agglomeration of Cirebon, Subang and Majalengka districts for 30 new industry centers to Dutch investors to boost the regional economy. Ridwan Kamil in his press statement spoke of having offered investment opportunities to Dutch investors during a meeting with Amsterdam-based local maritime technology company, Architect International BV. On the engagement, Kamil highlighted 3 advantages of investing in the province, with the first being the region's advanced transportation facilities and accessibility, that is easing mobility. Meanwhile, Director of Architect International BV, Patrick America, lauded Kamil's presentation that showcased his advanced knowledge and understanding of business and investment in the province. In spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, West Java remained the top investment destination in Indonesia, as the province recorded the realization of 72.5 trillion rupiah of domestic and foreign investment in the first semester of 2021. IDX Channel reports. The Indonesia Investment Authority engaged DP World to improve the quality of maritime and logistics services in Indonesia. The economic value of this long-term partnership reached $7.5 billion or around 106.5 trillion rupiah. The collaboration between the Indonesia Investment Authority and the Dubai-based company will improve the quality of port operations, reduce logistic costs, and increase Indonesia's competitiveness. This was marked by the signing of the strategic alliance between the two institutions in Dubai on Sunday, October 31st, 2021. Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Indonesia Investment Authority, Rida Wirakusuma, say that the strategic partnership with DP World is in line with the mission to optimize investment in infrastructure to encourage growth in long term. Meanwhile, Chairman and CEO of DP World Group, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulaim, say that his party saw the great potential of Indonesia as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The Indonesia Investment Authority focuses on investment in several sectors, such as airports, ports, toll roads, industrial complexes, digital infrastructure, health services, to renewable energy. President Joko Widodo conveyed Indonesia's commitment to address climate change issues at the COP26 summit in Glasgow, Scotland. The president said climate change is a big threat to global prosperity and development. So global partnership and collaboration are the key to overcoming these problems. In the energy sector, Indonesia continues to move forward with the development of an electric car ecosystem and the use of new and renewable energy, such as biofuels and the development of clean energy-based industries. Jokowi ensured that Indonesia will continue to mobilize climate finance and innovative financing, including green bonds.
Perubahan iklim adalah ancaman besar bagi kemakmuran dan pembangunan global. Solidaritas, kemitraan, kerjasama, kolaborasi global merupakan kunci. Sektor yang semula menyumbang 60% emisi Indonesia akan mencapai carbon net sink selambatnya tahun 2030. Di sektor energi kami juga terus melangkah maju dengan pengembangan ekosistem mobil listrik, pembangunan pembangkit listrik tenaga surya terbesar di Asia Tenggara, pemanfaatan energi baru terbarukan termasuk biofuel, serta pengembangan industri berbasis clean energy. Tetapi hal itu tidak cukup. Kami, terutama negara yang mempunyai lahan luas yang hijau dan potensi untuk dihijaukan, serta negara yang memiliki laut luas yang potensial menyumbang karbon, membutuhkan dukungan dan kontribusi dari internasional, dari negara-negara maju.
The government targets that 59% of the COVID-19 vaccination target, or 123 million people, have received the second dose of injection by the end of 2021.
The government targets that 59% of the COVID-19 vaccination target, or 123 million people, have received the second dose of injection by the end of 2021. This target is in line with the WHO target, so that every country in the world can reach 40% of the second dose of injection by the end of this year. Currently, the number of vaccines that have been used is 194 million doses, where the vaccination rate reached 50 million injections within 5 weeks. With these rates, Budi targets this week the number of injections to reach 200 million injections.
Akhir tahun, kita bisa sampai 290 sampai 300 juta suntikan, di mana dosis pertamanya perhitungan kami bisa 168 juta orang atau 80,9%, yang lengkap dosis 2 adalah 123 juta orang atau 59%. Nah, yang vaksinasi dosis pertama sudah 119 juta orang atau 57%, yang sudah lengkap dosis pertama dan dosis kedua ada 73,8 juta orang atau 35%.
The current stock of vaccines is 252 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine, of which 241 million have been distributed to provinces, districts, cities. Budi added of the total doses that have been distributed, as many as 194 million doses of vaccine has been used. The government ensures that the stock of vaccines will still be sufficient for next month. IDX Channel reports.
And stay with us because market headlines will be back after the break.
Saya lihat dari sektor UMKM nampaknya sudah mulai terasa itu, Pak.
Ya, kalau kita lihat dari indikator kredit ya untuk UMKM, ini memang sudah menunjukkan bahwa ekonomi UMKM mulai menggeliat.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement, earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,557.94. And then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,524.42. And then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at level 6,493.27. And in short, Jakarta Composite Index went down 0.91%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got health sector as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 0.1%. And then we got energy as the leader weakening trend that went down 2.03%. Industry went down 1.99% and transportation and logistics went down 1.57%. And we're moving on to top gainers and top losers. Here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Arto went up 2% to the level of 15,300 rupiah per share. NATO went up 6.35% to the level of 670 rupiah. Unilever Indonesia went up 1.13% to the level of 4,470 rupiah. And zinc went up 0.78% to the level of 129 rupiah per share. And for the today's top losers, Bank Sentral Asia went down 1.35% to the level of 7,300 rupiah per share. Telkom Indonesia went down 1.08% to the level of 3,660 rupiah per share. Bank Rakyat Indonesia went down 0.47% to the level of 4,210, and Pigas went down 1.69% to the level of 1,455 rupiah. And let's see the movement rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,257. Rupiah showing weakening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,271. In summary, rupiah went down 0.31%. Ministry of State on Enterprises revealed that Garuda Indonesia needs at least $1 billion in additional funds to cut debt and stay on the air.
Garuda Indonesia needs at least $1 billion in additional funds to cut debt and stay on the air. The government said it could relinquish its majority control over the debt-ridden airlines. Deputy Minister of State-Owned Enterprises Kartika Wiryaatmojo said Garuda is currently in talks with creditors to restructure debt worth $6.3 billion and is expected to reach an agreement in second quarter of 2022. This Indonesian flag carrier has prepared several options in debt negotiations. This includes switching to instruments such as mandatory convertible bonds or coupon-free bank loans. Once a debt agreement is reached, Garuda Indonesia will start looking for ways to raise $1 billion to pay its obligations and for working capital. With the need for funds so high, the government now chooses to be realistic and open to the possibility of private investors becoming the majority owner. Kartika said that Garuda had to cut its debt by around 70 to 80% in order to survive. The company's latest financial reports show that Garuda had negative equity of $2.8 billion at the end of June. IDX Channel reports.
During the first 9 months of this year, Mitra Keluarga Karya Sehat posted a net profit of 882.77 billion rupiah, an increase of 68% compared to the acquisition in the same period in 2020. Based on financial reports, Mitra Keluarga was able to achieve net income of 3.41 trillion rupiah or 47 greater than net income in third quarter of 2020. Along with this revenue growth, the cost of revenue during the first 9 months of this year increased to 1.62 trillion from 1.22 trillion in the same period in 2020. Thus, the company's gross profit reached 1.78 trillion. Meanwhile, Mika's total operating profit for the first 9 months of 2021 was recorded at 1.27 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, profit before tax for the period as of September 30 was 1.31 trillion rupiah. Krakatau Steel managed to record a positive performance during the first 9 months of 2021. Until the third quarter of 2021, the company posted a net profit of 853 billion rupiah. Supported by an increase in sales, Krakatau Steel managed to score a satisfactory financial performance during the first 9 months of 2021. Until the third quarter of 2021, the company posted a net profit of 853 billion rupiah. According to the President Director of Krakatau Steel, Silmi Karim, the company's profits are not only driven by an increase in sales and efficiency, but also contributions from subsidiaries. Silmi also said that in terms of volume, sales of major steel products, which include hot-rolled coil, cold-rolled coil, as well as steel pipe products, namely long products and steel plates, increased 26.9%. Meanwhile, Krakatau Steel sales figure as of September 2021 were recorded at 23 trillion rupiah. This number increased 41.7% from the realization of sales per September last year. In addition, sales of the company's downstream products also experienced an increase in sales volume by 86.7% to 13,181 tons in the third quarter of 2021. IDX Channel reports. And step aside from market condition as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on. Here is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news closes our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. And to prevent the spread of COVID-19, always wear a mask and get vaccinated immediately. Masks have been shown to reduce the risk of transmission by 80%, while vaccines minimize the risk of death by 73%. So let's wear a mask and let's vaccinated, because masks and vaccines keep us healthy and happy. And I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Pemirsa, pangan merupakan penentu mati hidupnya suatu bangsa. Ketidaktersediaan pangan akan membuat ketidakstabilan di masyarakat.